Bottom right position of Belshir Vestige is going to be from XMG. It is XlorD. And in the top left position, spawning as our teal Protoss, we have QueenE. So, just trying to get through as many of these games, trying to get as many of these broadcasted as we can for DreamHack Stockholm 2013. And in-base pylon for QueenE. We're going to have a PvZ on Belshir Vestige. I'm a bit curious as to what her plan is with this. XlorD, you know, his team actually recently picked up a couple of players talking about this a little bit earlier. So I'm curious to see how these players are going to go. Don't know too much about the style that XlorD does like to go for. Picking up a little bit actually more recently in popularity with results, but looks like he is going to be going for a little bit more of an economic build, continuing to produce drones, but it does look like QueenE wants to open up with a gateway. Slightly interesting to see this style of opener here. Perhaps she has something special prepared for this match. Belshir Vestige is a pretty long map. It's very narrow, though, so makes units like Colossi pretty strong in terms of how many choke points there are to force engagements using force fields. But XlorD will be able to scout out that QueenE is not going for a very fast expansion pretty damn soon with his Overlord. So as far as Zerg goes, playing versus these sorts of styles, he can get his Nexus up, his hatchery up very, very quickly with not much of an issue, since QueenE not sending out a probe, playing a little bit more defensively. And in terms of responding to a gateway open like this, XlorD's going to want to take a gas geyser in his base, just play this a little bit more on the safe side. We're currently actually wrapping up most of our group stage 1 matches. I believe this is the last, this is our last scheduled match for this stream until group stage 2. So hopefully we get a good one here before we move on to the next stage, as it were. But Overlord comes in, XlorD knows, says, okay, well, there's no expansion here, there's no wall at all either, so it's got to be some kind of gateway opener. And he does have the money to go for another hatchery, but he's going to start his Queen up now. And Zealot is going out for QueenE. Cybernetics core is complete. Warp Gate research has begun. And, well, probe production continuing on. And there's that gas for XlorD. It's very important to play safe versus these sort of styles. QueenE could go for the fast double Zealot stalker pressure, especially with a mothership core. And, well, the first Zealot is making its way across the field now, going on. Going to make sure there's no third base up, and XlorD actually has not gone for a third base as fast as he could have. So QueenE will find, okay, there's nothing there, and then, well, she's actually keeping the second Zealot at home and going to go into a Sentry. So it does look like QueenE wants to be a little bit on the safe side. Not going to go for a very aggressive play, just wants to make sure there's no crazy fast third. And with this Nexus going up now, it's going to come down to what kind of tech she wants to go for off of this gateway expand. Having the Cybernetics core this early will allow her to get up an additional tech much faster than with a regular Forge expand. So we'll have to see what she wants to do with this. Has a good amount of gas here. Will be building a Stargate. So pretty popular opener for Protoss versus Zerg on basically any map. And, well, with the delayed third base, XlorD actually has yet to acquire a third. He's continuing to mine his gas. Zergling speed is on the way. And this is just kind of a nice play by QueenE. XlorD could be expecting some form of aggression. However, Overlord, perched by the natural, does see that there is a Nexus on the way. And QueenE's actually going to throw a Forge onto her wall just to make sure that she can get a cannon in the event of any shenanigans of speedling attacks or any burrow play. Now, of course, she will be able to use gateways to wall this off. She can go for follow-up pressure if she wants to produce something like a Void Ray out of this Stargate. We'll have to see what the first unit to be. It is going to be a Phoenix, so QueenE will be able to use this to shove away XlorD's Overlords and maybe possibly pick off some Queens as well. And Probe's now going down to that completed natural expansion. So the natural expansion completes for QueenE as XlorD starts his third. And this is kind of the situation that QueenE wants to be in. In terms of economy, she's in a pretty good spot because she was able to delay the expansion for XlorD, make him get gas. But the question is, will she be able to hold any kind of follow-up pressure? The Roachborn is coming in now for our red Zerg player, and Zerglings are beginning to make their way across the map. Zergling speed is finishing up, and now the hallucinated Phoenix from QueenE, using it to scout, should be able to spot those. Went right over those speedlings, and at very fast overlord speed for XlorD will be able to go into QueenE's base and scout out what she has. And, well, we'll be able to see that that Stargate is there. We have the Overlord being tickled away by those sentries. And QueenE knows pretty much everything that's up. Sees, okay, you have a Roachborn coming in, getting that third base as well. So, and also the lair. So, with an Evolution Chamber coming in, this is a pretty standard follow-up for Zerg versus Protoss. And it looks like XlorD, instead of going for a big Roach push, may instead just wait for his lair and get up and Hydralisk Den and just go for a little bit more of a greedy composition. Of course, Hydralisk's a bit more expensive than Roaches, but they're so much more powerful. Getting them earlier on is almost always better, unless you're being pushed by a non robotics faced composition. But QueenE saturating up her natural expansion now, continuing to get these Phoenix out, just perusing the map for any overlords, trying to make sure there's nothing really to be worried about, no threats, as it were. And yeah, Overlord's beginning to take some damage here, so QueenE will be able to pick off a couple of these. There are some speedlings looking for a third base, trying to find any openings, but at the same time, XlorD beginning to saturate his natural. And a Hydralisk Den coming in, so he will be able to move into his Hydralisk. Roach speed is coming in. So this is going to be a Roach Hydra composition coming out of our Zerg player. QueenE, well aware of this. The Phoenix have seen all that they really need to see. Did she spot the Hydralisk Den? Yes. Hopefully she managed to click on that and see that it was a Hydralisk Den in time. But third base going up for QueenE. Some Zerglings are going to try here, come here and try to stop this. But with the Mothership Core and a few sentries with this Zealot, QueenE should be able to protect this. She needs to get her sentries over there. This third base might actually end up going down. She's moving the Phoenix, trying to pick off any units over here, but at the same time, she's going to lose her third base. Taking a bit of damage here. One of the pylons going to go down as well. Now moving the sentries and Zealot over there. Just a bit distracted trying to grab these units with these Phoenix, taking a bit of damage, but able to pick off the Queen, so not bad at all from our Protoss player, and going to restart that Nexus as soon as possible. Now, the Phoenix are continuing to look around for units to kill, but the Hydras are on the field. Hydralisk speed is coming in for XlorD, and with a pretty reasonable amount of creep spread, he is going to be able to make his way across that map and do a lot of damage if QueenE doesn't switch into this robotics bay fast enough. The Hydras are already moving across the field for XlorD. QueenE has a couple of sentries, but her robotics bay, it's still a minute off, and this is what she's going to need to deal with these Hydralisks. XlorD is making his way now over towards QueenE's natural. The Phoenix will be able to pick off the Zergling at the Watchtower, and the third base is going to be under attack. QueenE needs to get some units over here to deal with this. This is a good amount of Hydralisks, 8 of them, just so much DPS. She just says, you know what, screw it, I'm going to cancel that. Doesn't want to risk losing sentries to this play. May have to actually retreat to her wall. Guardian Shield activated. We'll be able to pick off one of these Hydralisks. Not terrible there. And, well, she's going to want to get her third base started up again as fast as possible. It's really been delayed, but it hasn't been, it's not really that late of a third considering Protoss versus Zerg. So she's been really trying to aggressively take this third base, just trying to eke out something here. Hydra's going to be able to shove these Phoenix away. QueenE taking a little bit of damage. Paint job is ruined on a few of these, but they are still alive. And Roach production is going to begin for XlorD. Fourth base on the way as no macro hatch just yet, but a hive. And he's just going to move straight into Roach Hydralisk. Most likely Viper used the abductability to deal with QueenE's Colossi, and he's just been able to delay these bases so much. The first Colossus, where is it? It's not out yet. QueenE, and we're going to force build off a couple of these Hydralisks. A really good engagement here for QueenE to pick these off. Not losing too much here, but there is a lot behind those force fields, and she needs to buy herself some time. Her third base, make it canceled again. XlorD trying to use an Overlord to prove creep on there. We'll force build some more of these units away, but there's just not enough meat in this army to deal with this. Sentries aren't going down, retreating to the wall. The first Colossus is over here. The cannon is adding in some additional support as well, and QueenE doing her best to hold us off. XlorD taking a pretty nice supply lead, though. Cannon finishing at the third base. The third Nexus is complete, but QueenE, not really too much army to hold all of this off to save it. GG! And XlorD will take game 1 in this series here at the DreamHack Stockholm 2013. And not terrible, but I had to say, going with the Phoenix play, if she had just moved those sentries over with that Zealot towards the third base, been able to save that, it was definitely going to be a bit more, definitely a salvageable situation. You can see the nerves starting to wear off a little bit on QueenE. Her build was pretty tight, not bad, and I really liked delaying that third base from XlorD by quite a bit, just by opening Gateway, even though she wasn't very aggressive. So we'll have to see if she has anything planned for this game, or if XlorD is going to be able to take a 2-0 in this series. Next game is Whirlwind. We're on the countdown right now, guys. We're going to get into this game, well, right now.